baby, here we go.
I'm talking lights, camera, action. Ain't no man alive that can damage out our faction. Product of Jehovah, we gon' thrive off his passage. The podcast gon' pop real fast, entice the righteous. Lay down malice, trade for love, give up your vices. My third eye has yours glued to your devices. Wisest word spoken, we ain't bluffing. Can't say we don't talk about nothing if you ain't got substance. But I'm talking lights, camera, action, 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 action.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode number 9. We're on number 9 of the front row. I'm Troy Fenton. I'm your host for today. I'm hoping that this video found you in good spirits. I hope that you're having a good day, and I hope that the conversation that we are able to have today, you can take something from and what we get into. We're kind of going off the dome today, but I have 2 amazing guests for you guys to meet. I actually met them not too long ago myself, and they're just amazing people, and I'm glad that they're on here for today. So introducing Josh and Miles. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? We need like confetti good, coming up. Confetti for you. Definitely confetti for you, Josh. You know what I mean? Just definitely for Josh. So, but Josh is to the right, Miles to the left. So how you guys doing, man?
We doing good, man. You know?
Doing good, yeah.
It's, no, Miles, you can go, bro.
It's kind of crazy, like, this is going to be a different experience.
Go ahead,
like,
bro.
I'm a underclassman, and these are 2 upperclassmen, and it's like, it's my first time on a podcast, so see how it is.
Bro, and you're a freshman. You're a freshman. And I feel like you hang around older people, though, bro. Like, you're really one of us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's because, like, I'm just, like, into, like, deep level intellectual conversation, so it doesn't matter old or young. If you're into that, I'm into that.
Bro. It's fire. And what about you, Josh?
Word, man. I mean,
Josh is low-key a sophomore, by the way, so
yeah,
but he's gonna be 21.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Little bit of complications on my end, cause I'll keep it blunt. I'm a transfer student, so I'm a sophomore, but I feel like a freshman. But I'm getting used to it.
I'm just using that against you, bud. I'm just using that against you.
Listen, man.
It's fine.
Listen,
fine.
man. But nah, 1 month in, like honestly, bro, this is the vibes, like for real, like. I don't want to throw shade at my other school, but my other school was kind of just like 1-2 buckle my shoe, I'm out of there. You know?
I told you could freestyle.
And over here, it's like, I'm like, wow, it feels like home in a sense. It's like homey. It's very like chill vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Got the nice environment outside, you know what I'm saying? So
how do you feel like making like your decision to come here? Like, how do you feel like how you fit in with other people?
I think, honestly,
did you expect it? Like, I feel like, because I'm boys with Josh, and like I feel like in how I look at you, like I think like it's fire, it's good, like you have a friend group, but like did you feel like this is how it would go?
Like honestly, I wasn't expecting it, because I'll keep it real. Like maybe like 1 week, a week and a half in here, I'm like, yo, this school is nice, this is what's up, you know, these people are chill, but I'm like, you know, who am I really gonna be friends with? And then, you know, these 2 people here, I got other people I'm gonna mention later, you know, that like, I'm like, all right, I'm starting to build something a little bit. And now I'm gonna see if like I can keep them building blocks going up and up and up and up. And we keep going, stack it, you feel me?
I think at Monmouth, like it's either you, like it's hard to fit in here, but I also tell everybody like you find very like interesting people here. And like if you find those people, like it's like you're not friends with a million people here, but like the people that you are friends with, like it's really cool. It's really cool.
Man.
I don't even know how to describe it. Like I don't know. 100%. And what about you, Miles? How do you feel, bro?
So the interesting about Monmouth came in like senior year of high school, because like in junior year I was kind of focused on going to West Coast because I want to live in Arizona sometime.
Yep, not me, bud.
And I was like, I applied for Arizona State.
Yeah.
University of Southern Cal, a bunch of other schools, Rutgers, Monmouth, Syracuse, Hofstra. And I got into Arizona State. And I was kind of waiting for Syracuse, right? And then Monmouth came along. And when I took the first visit, Monmouth felt like home. So it was like, I wanted to be like optimistic and didn't want to just be like, Monmouth's just Monmouth, to see my options.
Yeah.
But the first time I went on the tour, it just felt right, and it was good for my major. So I was like, if anything doesn't work out, Monmouth is like
a safe zone.
It's a safe
place.
zone, but also number 1 option, because it's not too close to home, but it's not too far. And so like, then I got kind of like, I backtracked, and I'm like, if I go to Arizona, it's just gonna be me out there. Like,
Yeah, away from your fam.
yes,
Away from the fam and your friends back home. Like,
yes,
I want to tell the story. I feel like it's funny how we all met. Like I was given the tours, and on my tour job, you know, I just bump into Miles, and Miles is, you know, I want to go here, and I'm like, okay. And then Josh, I bump into Josh and Josh's mom, beautiful mom. Shout out, mom.
That's my mom right there, man.
And I was like, you guys were just so cool, and like I can't believe I was in that position. Like, how did you guys look at me when I was like talking to you that day? Like, how did it feel? How was the vibes?
cause like first I was talking to Geno, which is one of like the sports people, and it was an interesting conversation because like my dad's like, y'all two are gonna get along, and then I'm like, let me go talk to Troy. Like, I didn't know him, but I'm like, let me go talk to him. And then Troy gave me some insight, told me that he was a photographer and all that, and that was pretty cool to me because it's like I'm kind of in that field I want to get into. So it's like, if Troy is into it and he's kind of experienced it on Monmouth, he can give me some insight.
Yes. I like, and this was all over the summertime, and like you came first, and then maybe like a month or two later, then Josh came.
So, oh man, all right, bro. So
This is crazy. Josh was crazy. Yeah.
all right,
Go ahead,
so
bro. Go
I
ahead,
won't
bro.
lie. You know, me transferring here, I transferred like pretty late. I'd say like maybe like a week and a half before school started. I'm like, damn, I'm beat. I'm in a rush. I gotta get to moving. I gotta get to stepping. So, you know, I do the tour, and then I see the homie Troy. I'm like, all right, you know, bro seems cool. Like, he's showing around the whole campus. And like, unfortunately, I got there like a little late, so I got to like the latter half
Josh
of the tour.
was mad late, bro.
Yeah, like, bro.
I'm just busting your chops, bro. I'm just busting your chops.
And then I remember my mom was like, oh, like, we should go talk to him like after to like get some like, you know what I'm saying, just get some tips, like, you know, what's up with the campus. And then, you know, I feel bad. Like, I love my mom, but my mom was like on my boy's neck.
She was on.
And,
Yo, you said let's go talk to Troy. Your mom was like, no, I'm gonna go talk to Troy, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy.
My mom was also telling me too, like, oh, like, you know, you should talk to him, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, bro? I dap him up. You know, it was a clean dap up, by the way.
Yeah, yo, it was.
It's just like, you know, like, of course I can talk to him. I can talk to anybody. I feel like it's just in front of moms. It's like, it's a little awkward.
Different. With Mama Dukes is different.
It's a little awkward.
Yo, while his mom was talking, me and Josh were just looking at each other like, what? The next time I see you, bro, like, it's gonna be. Don't worry, we'll chop it up for real.
It's so crazy because the next time, I swear, it was like 2 days into the semester. Bam, I'm in the Bay Hall. I just finished my class. I see homeboy just chilling out front. I'm like, yo, that's the boy. And then he was mad excited because he's like, oh, you going here now? I'm like, yeah. It's like, hey, let's go. So we was chopping it up for a bit, and then ever since then, man, just boom, 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 boom. Everywhere I go, there goes Troy. There goes Troy. I said this to my boy Gideon. Shouts out to Gideon.
Yeah,
that man
Gideon.
GQ.
Yes. Go ahead.
I said to Gideon that when I see Troy, I'm not gonna lie, he is the face of Monmouth, bro. At least me being here, like, if you had one rep, if you had one like standout student to put like on your flagship, like, boom, this is Monmouth University. That's the man, Troy Fenton, man.
Bro,
Troy Fenton, man.
Bro.
I agree on
Come
that.
on,
I
man.
agree on that.
I don't know, bro. Everything, like, you guys, everything I preach on here, like, just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's crazy. Like, the reason why, like, I'll do the tour jobs is because of like people like you guys. Like, there's not enough people that are like of color or like of like just people that really care. And I remember like when I was looking at colleges, I was so stressed about where I want to go. And I was like, you know what? Like, now that I know the ropes and I'm going to be like a junior, like, I'm going to do this job and like help like the next, you know, people. And like, bro, as soon as I saw you, I was like, yeah, this is why I do this job. This is why I do this job. And then Josh, I'm not going to lie, when we met, I was like, this man is not coming here. And then the day we saw each other when classes started, I was like, yo, Josh is on campus right now. Like, no way. So, but I appreciate that, bro. Like, it's just crazy. Like,
Of course, man.
Proximity, bro. Like, that proximity, like, we weren't supposed to know one another, but now we do.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a setup, man. I'm telling you, it's just everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, life really, like, you may not know it, like you, but like life and God or whoever, like religion, you know, whoever you believe in, it's a setup, bro. It's just like, all right, this is bound to happen, and then a week it's already pre-planned. You know what I'm saying? It's already penciled in. You just have to wait for it to happen.
Yeah, you just gotta wait. I totally agree with you on that, bro.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. Growing up for you guys, how did that look like into getting to where you are now?
Sheesh.
So
man.
like
childhood going all the way up till now,
childhood,
how the household looks, all that type of stuff.
Childhood, I feel like I've probably been like very blessed because like a lot of kids around my area, like where I live, they don't have two parents in their house. They don't have another older sibling that's like looking out for them or other family members looking out for them. And also, I think my parents were very involved. Like they were involved if I was in sports or my academics. They always like, literally, if you're like wondering how I got so like into stuff, it's probably my dad. My dad.
Shout out to Pops.
Shout out to my dad because like
man.
when I was little, he used to read the Bible, stuff like that to me. And then when I got a little bit more into like speaking with words and stuff, he used to make me research. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel like doing that as a little kid. But in hindsight, it kind of helped me because like now people are asking me like when the next sports game is, when the next movie coming out. And like sometimes I'm like, I'm tired, but then I still have joy in it.
Yeah, and you know the answer because you're used to doing your research.
Yeah.
You're used to doing your research. And what about you, Josh?
Man, I will say, like, you know, kind of on the opposite spectrum with Miles, like, you know, him being blessed. 100% you're blessed, bro. You love to see it.
Yeah.
For me, man, like, I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, like down in the dumps type beat, but, you know, me growing up, I used to live in East Orange. I lived there for 7 years. It's just me and moms, right? I love that, bro. That woman, man, let me tell you something, bro. That she is actually single-handedly like the best woman on this earth because it's just me and her. Like, you know, I don't got pops like that. You know, I don't have siblings like that. I'm an only child.
Okay.
I'm an only child.
Okay.
So her raising me up the way that she did with what she could work with, I'm just like, wow. She's always feeding me intel inside of me. She's not like, oh, you know, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm kicking you out of the house. Da-da-da-da. Like, nah. She's always like
Structure.
laying the groundwork and always like trying to like feed me knowledge, lots of knowledge that what she's gone through in her life and what her mom has taught her in her life. So it's just like a real knowledge test of like putting everything in my brain so I can operate and I can function. So getting out of there, like being there for 7 years, like I will say it was a bad environment, bro. Let me tell you, bad environment, but I made it work with what I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm here now. I'm blessed that I am here now, and we keep it pushing, man. Regardless of like the struggle, you know, being up north and all that. Like, hey, we keep it pushing for real. You know, my mom is like always like very like, I guess you could say basic with her teachings, but it's very impactful. Like, always treat others the way you want to be treated. You know, give each other respect. Like, you know, like the stuff that you taught when you're young.
Yeah.
But let's say if I have my mom, but then I also have a dad or like, you know, another parent,
Parental figure,
right?
yeah.
Like it would hit to me, but it would just be like, all right, you know, whatever, I'm coolin'. But the fact that it is a single mom and, you know, a mother that is a little older, I'm not going to disclose her age for the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Respect of women's privacy, but
Yeah.
Of course. There
You know,
yo, that's yeah.
like her having that like knowledge put into me and, you know, really teaching me at a young age, I honestly do feel mature and I do like fit in to that majority. Cause, you know, even if I am a person of color, you know, this and that, I may get disrespected, I may get not treated the way I want to be treated. It's not that I don't care, but like I'm still gonna have that same mentality. I'm not gonna switch up overnight. Like, oh, the world hates me, everybody hates me. Nah, it's just a small percentage, and I'm just keep being me.
That's a good mindset. That's a good mindset.
And so for you, Miles, like, what would you say, like, in experiencing two parents, like, how do like a mom and a dad find balance and like going about raising a kid like the best way they can?
There's two different mindsets. With a dad, he's more relatable to the son because he's been through what the son is going through. He's kind of know what a boy and a man has to go through to become a man of raising a son. And then the mom is more nurturing. She's teaching you like the basics, also teaching you how to be more caring. And then you blend that to the kid and you embed certain principles, then the kid follows it and doesn't like fall away from it. Then you get a kid that's respectable, knows how to be its own person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I feel like for me too, like I relate to you 100%. Like I had both of my parents in the household, so with that, like they, and like I don't know if your parents were like this too, but like they almost like cut the wings early, so like I wasn't like depending on them for certain things, you know. And like it was like, oh yeah, like my, like obviously it would always have my back, but like they gave me like the illusion that like I was almost like on my own, so like I could grow up and like say like, oh nah, like this is my responsibility. Oh yeah, like this is my responsibility. And like obviously like if something were to really go wrong, my parents can step in and help. But like they gave me the illusion that like it's on you, bro. It's on you. And then like with that, like I feel like I was able to mature. I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like all of us can relate that. Like I always feel like I was like 2 or 3 years older than what my age group was growing up.
I feel like for me, maturing was probably going through like, I think I'm gonna bring up this story. So 8th grade year, I feel like I was mature, but I wasn't mature to where I am now. And there was a girl by the name of Alyssa Rauscher. She may not see this or not, but I feel like the moment where I messed up is like I should have let her down easily. Even though I liked her, I feel like there was too much variance or stuff that was in the way for us to go out. And the way I went about it of rejecting her was the wrong way. And I was kind of having my friends' voices in my head, and I felt like that showed that I was immature, but I was mature more than them, but I was still immature because I care what people think. And through that summer going into 9th grade and then after 9th grade, I think that's when it really hit to me that I messed up. And then through the course of high school, I just kept maturing, and then here we are now.
How do you, and you too, Josh, you can answer this as well. Like, how do you go? Because I struggle with the same thing. Like, and I've like grown out of this probably like this summer till now. Like, really not caring what people think, and also like not going to people for their opinion on everything. Because once somebody tells you how they feel, like that energy sticks to you, and like you remember that. And then like it was like exactly what you like. Oh, my friends are saying this or my friends are thinking that, so like, yeah, I'm gonna just go do it, and it's like, it like binds your thinking in a bad way, because it's like, if I was in a room isolated by myself, like the decision that Troy would make versus like a room with like 5 of his friends around him, like giving him advice about this, that, or the other, like I would be going with the majority of what everybody else thought to satisfy them and not satisfy me, which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Which sounds like why the heck would we do that? But like,
I think it's my mindset, because maybe 8th to 9th grade, I wouldn't say I was a follower, but I still care what people think. I think the more I started to learn how to be a deep thinker, like have a free like range of thinking, that's where I didn't care what people think. And also I'm a little stubborn. So like if we get in a heated debate, like you gotta kind of prove that I'm wrong. You can't just say a outlandish statement or whatever and be like, that's the truth. You got to kind of prove it to me. So like
that research that you were talking about.
So like it can't, unless you experience it, I might give the benefit of the doubt, but like if it's sports movie based, I need the evidence to prove that what you're saying is true. So like if a rumor went around with me around Monmouth, most people probably believe it, but like I would just look at it, you don't really know me. So how would you say it's true?
How do you break that? How do you break, like, and what you're saying now, like, that is, like, How do people get to that?
I think it deals with emotional intelligence and your mindset. Because, like, it took me a minute because
Same here.
I feel like as men, we're told we can't be weak or vulnerable. So I had to learn how to express that. And I feel like the last 2 years, I've been able to express it in such a way, like if I feel a certain type of way, I might go on a run. If I'm like really bored or something, or my mind's like drained, I might dance or something. And I feel like if you can have activities and you're able to get out your head sometimes and really analyze what you're feeling, that's when you're able to not be controlled by people, your emotions, or any influences.
A lot of people live on social media.
100%. Man.
Any media, let's just say media in general. Right. And I used to be an advocate of this, where like if I didn't know what decision to make, I would go on social media and have it make it for me. And like just that culture of like highlighting like your best, of like this is what I'm doing, and like in highlighting your best all the time, you are running away from the storm. But the storm is what really allows you to formulate your own opinion for yourself. Right. You know? So, and what do you think about that?
Like what you were saying with like people living in media, like man, let me tell you something.
Go ahead, Josh.
I'm not a fan of it because like, you know, people are just glued to their phones. Let me scroll through the TikTok for a couple of hours. That's why I told you guys like I'm not a TikTok head, because yeah, it's like some of the stuff is funny, but like, you know, what am I really doing? Unless I'm doing TikToks, then it's like, okay, I'm doing it myself.
I understand.
But, like, I don't know, man. Like, and I'm not even saying either like, like put down the media and then go outside, touch grass. Like, nah, you just have to balance it, because you can like be on the media and like think of it as like our newspaper. We're not going to invest in the newspaper anymore because, you know, technology is advancing. But think of it as like our newspaper, and, you know, scroll through a little bit, and then close out. You read your news for the day. You caught up on your sports. You caught up on politics. You caught up on whatever you're really into. And then you can go about the day, you know, check it again later. It's not just like a 24-hour cycle, because once it becomes a 24-hour cycle, then you're like, what are you doing? You're just on that phone. You know what I'm saying? You're on the media.
He's giving y'all a real chat right now. He's putting y'all on real chat right now.
You are so invested into something that's not affecting you, really.
Oh my God. He's putting y'all on chat right now.
That's perfect, because I was going to say media gives you a false perception. Think about it, like all these people want to be like models, all these girls want to change their body, all these people are like canceling people over old things and stuff like that. I feel like media is a false perception. Think about the news. They have good stories, but most of the stories are sad, and that's because
that's on purpose.
That's to draw you in, and they just want to pump stuff out into your brain. So I feel like the more you're able to control your mind, that's the key thing. The more you'll be able to block that stuff out. Because, like, sometimes I'm scrolling a lot, but, like, I know how to control myself to not do those certain things. Like, if I see a video that's, like, crazy, I'm like, I'm not going to do it, but it's, like, intriguing to me. Or I feel like people don't know how to control their intrusive or urges. And it's, like, I noticed that a lot, and I'm like, they're not thinking right. They're thinking with a certain mind at the moment. Like, say like a guy wants to mess with a girl and they want to get like active. He's thinking more of his urges and his intrusive thoughts. And what you don't realize, that's not your true self. Most people think that's what you're thinking in your head. That's like your mind at that moment when you're trying to have those activities, instead of like your mind clarity and thinking. And I feel like a lot of people, especially the young generation, fails to realize that if you don't have control of your mind, you'll be doing any old thing. Like, it doesn't matter.
For real.
You'll just do anything.
I will say, I'm gonna tap in right on that too, man. Like you were saying with your true self, I feel like nowadays, especially like how the younger generations, you keep, you know, young, right? Everybody, it's almost as if we have a mask. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're all wearing masks, and the masks are hiding ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you have the mask on. You can be I don't even know. You can be Steph Curry. You can be him. You are that guy.
You can be him or her.
Yeah, or her.
Whatever that looks like.
Or
Whatever
them,
that looks
or,
like.
you know, whoever. I'm not judging. We're not judging on this podcast, you know?
Yeah.
But once you take that mask off, who really are you? Are you that same him, her, they, them, you know, whatever? Or are you a shell of that? Or are you not even willing to fill in that hole within you? You know? It's like two sides of a coin.
Bro,
in a sense.
I got tired of wearing that mask, bro. I would bring that mask with me to the lunch table. I would bring that mask with me to my relationships. And
how is that mask, would you say? Like, if you had one word to describe that mask, how was it?
That's a
or a
good
few
question.
words.
I would describe it as it was manipulative.
Okay.
It was fake. And sad. Like I was walking around here just sad, because like it was like the mask was so good at manipulating, because manipulation got you to think something other than what was really actually happening.
Right.
And I became so good at doing that. It's actually scary. And like, even growing up around people that didn't look or act like me or whatever, I got so good at tricking like people and like tricking them into like really like messing with me. But like, and not that like I had bad intentions for anybody, because you know, I love everybody. I love on everybody I see. But for them to get like the real Troy, not a lot of people got that, if any, bro. If any. Like really, my mom and my dad and my sister were really, you know, and that's just my immediate family. Nobody from school, nobody like not even like my real close friends. Like I didn't even like fully give them
Right.
who I was in my heart. But again, like what I said before, I got tired, bro. It's so tiring to do that every single day. You wake up and it's like you just start practicing. Like I'm not gonna lie, for like probably like the last like 6-7 months, like just practicing, like, bro, like I'm just practicing being me, you know, like, and it's not even practice, because like it's easy to be you. It's easy to just lead with who you really are. It's not that hard to do. And I was like, bro, like this is what needs to stick. And then everybody like he started accepting that, and I was like, what?
Yeah, man.
It's like, why? You know, why? And then like I stopped scrolling. All those like you see like you're like, if on Instagram, whatever, you have like, you know, 1,000 followers and then you have 1,000 following. I just stopped looking through all those 1,000 following, bro. I stopped looking through those people and I just started posting me. And I didn't really care about the feedback, but I just started posting me, and I started to attract. I stopped chasing and I started to attract people to come towards me, and the right people like you guys, and like the people that come on here, and the people that I've just, you know, back home and everything. Like you start attracting, and it's like, wow, this actually works. Exactly. This math problem works, like, you know, and it's simple addition. It's not no like, you know, quadratic formula. Simple addition, bro. 1 + 2 = 3.
For me, I mean, growing up, you know, I was bullied for a couple years, and it's not even like crazy bullying. I guess.
I mean, bro, bullying is bullying at the end of the day.
Yeah, man.
Ain't no like
nothing crazy.
There's no justification, you know, with that.
Like like I remember in elementary school I had 2 bullies, right? And both of them was really like messing with me, stuff like that. And then I told my mom about it, and then my mom's, shouts out to mom again, she'd come to the school. It's like, oh,
lay down the law.
Yeah, you doing that to my son? You doing that to my son? All right, do it when I'm here. And it was like, no, I'm not doing all that. And then, funny enough, because of that, one of those bullies, before I left my old town, like we became tight like that, you know? Like
Really?
it wasn't like
inseparable.
yeah, we're not inseparable, but like I can dap him up. I see like, hey, what's good?
And from
bro?
what it came
What's
from,
going on?"
like
yeah. It took a few years, but it happened. And you know, like growing up, it was like, oh, like, you know, this guy Josh, like blah blah blah. But like I think the latter years of my schooling, no matter what like school it is, the latter years of my schooling is when like, okay, this guy Josh, he's something special. Towards the end of elementary, it's like, oh wait, this Josh guy is pretty cool. And then I switched schools, elementary school again. Towards the end, this guy he's pretty cool. Middle school, 8th grade, he's pretty cool. High school, towards like junior year, I'm like, wait a minute, you know? And I'm just being myself. I'm not like
You just cooling it. You cooling it.
I'm cooling it. I'm like, yo, like, nah, like, I'm this big dude or whatever. Like, oh, like, I'm like shy. Like, no, I'm just
Cool.
being me. I'm walking down the halls. I'm like trying to hype everybody up in the class. And some people may not be with it. And I'm like, all right, if you're not with it, you're not with it. But if you're with it, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's good? Yeah. So that's like, I will say with hearing from your side of the perspective, I like it because, you know, you weren't attracting, you were chasing. And then the fact that you can say to yourself, all right, man, look, this is not Troy Fenton, man. This is not me. This is a fake me. And now you can sit here right now doing this podcast for the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You can do this and be like, this is the me. This is Troy Fenton. And that's just so cool, man. I love that.
Thank bro. That's literally why. That's why I love to record, bro. Cause it's fun.
Yes.
I have so much fun, like just being me.
For me, I feel like I was never not myself. Like, I always had my friends' voices in my head, but like I was never not myself. Like in high school, like if you knew me, you probably knew that I was into sports, obviously, and the comics and stuff like that. I was kind of like in my own element. Like one of my friends, Evan, shout out to Evan. He always says, I get high off of life. I don't get high off of drugs or anything. He says I get high off of life.
Oh, that's buzz.
And when I like dissected that, I'm like, nothing can really make me get angry anymore. Like when I was younger, I used to have little anger issues, or nothing can get me really sad. Like I'll go through it, day, whatever, get it over with. And then like, I feel like that's a good way of looking at it because like, I don't need like drugs. I don't need alcohol. I don't need to go to a party. It's either I listen to music, I might read a comic there, might watch a movie, might research something, and now it just satisfies me enough. And I feel like people need stuff to be able to cope with other stuff and also need stuff to escape reality. Because I feel like everybody's in their head and we all do it, but if you find something that can help you escape it, you might be able to deal with it. I feel like a lot of people can't deal with it.
I feel like a big thing too, man, it's like, where the hobbies at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I feel like nobody got hobbies no more.
Where's your hobby at?
Nobody got hobbies no more, man. I feel like growing up, like me and Troy, we the same year. Miles, you 2 years off us, but you know, you're still.
He damn near, bro. Like, you damn near, bro.
I mean, listen, you know, but like, I feel like now people are just like, oh, you know, I'm about to hit up this party. Oh, what's that? we got the shot. We got a little shawty over here. You know, let me spit game, and then you know, let me take her back to the crib and do
da da da.
I'm just like, bro, nobody doing fun stuff no more, man. Like, you know, why not? Oh, go shoot some hoops for fun.
Get on the game.
Tap into the music. Get on the game, or like even
go eat together.
Exactly. Even like writing, like, you know, just like writing down your thoughts, or like like creative writing, write stories, write down music, even if your music a little buns. I mean, it may not be buns.
Just it's okay. My music is buns.
Nah, what you mean, son? What you mean?
I feel like that's the interesting thing about it. I feel like when you walk around, I ask, like, if I'm getting to know someone, whether it's a girl or a boy, I ask, like, I get to know them a little bit, but I ask what they do, like their hobbies. And if their hobbies seem like kind of not my thing, I kind of like drift away from them. Because like, for me, I go back to ninth grade year. Ninth grade year was where I started getting into anime. I started liking like Korean dramas. Korean dramas, when I tell you they're good, you might not understand what they're saying, but if you get the subtitles and you watch it for a good 5 episodes, you might like it. And then going into quarantine, that's when I got into fashion. Like, I always knew about name brands and stuff like that, but like fashion TikTok kind of got a little influence on me to thrift, to look out for certain stuff like Levi jeans, certain shoes, certain brands, certain sweaters and stuff like that. And I feel like the more you're less out of your head, and the more you let your optimism take over, the more you're able to like new things.
Like, even in what you're saying and the hobbies that you like, the hobbies that other people are doing have no substance, bro. No, it's like
All
making
sauce,
like
man. All
it's
sauce.
like making pancakes with no like flour, bro. Or like whatever ingredients you want to put in your pancake. Like, it's like you got like the bare minimum ingredients to make that pancake like fluffy, bro. Like, nobody has substance, and like I feel like we're lacking that, bro. Nobody has substance.
Yeah, man.
Or what we label as having substance is like smoking or doing this or doing that.
It's
and
in
it's
the
like,
moment.
Thank you.
It's not everlasting.
It's a good point, because I've been saying this. Hookup culture, smoking, drinking. I mean, smoking and drinking, I feel like were around, but like 5 years ago, I didn't feel like it was normalized like it is now. Like, is everywhere. You can't escape it. And then the hookup culture thing,
what do you guys think about that?
that rubs me the wrong way, because it's like those same people probably junior year want to start getting a relationship, but they don't realize their tendencies of keep doing hookups can cause so many mental issues, could cause you to not understand your worth, not understand the standards you want, and it could cause even more of like people around you are going to look at you different, because like they saw what you did. Now you might have changed, but it's going to take a long time.
You know what,
Y'all don't get your notebook out right now?
And you know what happens with the hookup culture? And then they're in their head, and then they're just gonna spiral down mentally. You know what they do? They start to smoke. They start to drink, and then it's a trifecta. They going in a triangle. They going in a triangle. Bam! I'm gonna try and hook up. It don't work out. Boom! I'm gonna smoke. Oh wow! I'm in my bag. Let me drink. Oh, the next day I'm feeling good. I'm gonna try and hook up, and then it's just a repeat.
Bro, I feel like I'm at a point in my life now, like, where the next relationship and whoever or whatever girl that is gonna be with, like, if I'm gonna get in a relationship with you, like, I'm dating you to marry you, bro.
Lock it in.
Like, I'm not over here to like, oh yeah, like even in navigating my singleness, like, I'm not here to hook up in the meantime. I'm not here to do that.
I don't get that.
Hook up in the meantime to do what? Because in your point, both of your points, like, you're training your mind in programming it to what's next. And then what happens when you come across a really good person and you wonder why you can't be with that person for so long? Because you have been training yourself to go to the next and the next and the next. And like, even in like, if you're a relationship person, like, I see people get into relationships 5 months, 4 months after they're done dating one person for a year or something. And it's like, I get everybody has their own different timetables, but like, I'm sorry, but like, you can't just jump to the next and jump to the next. Like, 4 months is not even, it's barely 100 days, fam.
Yeah.
Barely 100 days to yourself, bro. To you. It's very interesting, man. It is very interesting.
Like, bro, I find it so crazy. Like, with me, like, you know, I will say, like, you know, I haven't really been in like a legit relationship, but with me, I always have the mentality, I'm like, all right, whichever girl I get with, you know, I'll say to myself, this is gonna be the one. Cause I'm not about like, oh, let me hop ship 1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5.
so how did you come to that conclusion? Because I feel like dudes use the excuse, and I was an advocate of this, like, oh, I need to try it out. I need to try what this life is out. Like, what everybody else is doing before, like, I come to what you just said. How do you, but if you haven't been in a real relationship yet,
Right.
and it's gonna come,
Right.
because you're an amazing man.
Appreciate you, bro.
But like, if I have like you haven't really gone crazy or anything. So like, how do you come to that conclusion without trying that quote unquote life?
I mean, honestly, it's just like I'm just by myself. Like, you know, I'm not like my mom's always telling me like, oh, you know, like don't be chasing girls when you're at school, you know, locking on to school. The girls will come to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, all
yes,
right,
they will.
all right,
Yes,
yeah,
they
word,
will.
They will. And, you know, maybe I say to myself, all right, this girl's the one. She don't turn out to be the one. It's all right, right? I'm not going to be beat about it because there's so many. I remember, shouts out to my boy Javi back home. Or not back home, but like near here. Shouts out to my boy Javi. I remember I was like going crazy for this girl or whatever in high school. And then, you know, she rejected me, blah, blah, blah. And I was in the dumps for like, you know, that same day. But then Javi's like, man, bro, there's so many fish in this road, bro. You don't have to be stuck on that one. You don't have to be sitting there with the bait trying to reel one in when multiple can come in, get the bait and really
Themselves.
like reel in. Exactly. And so I'm not so worried about it in the end of the day. Cause like, you know, I feel like me as a person, like if you see who I really am as a person, I'm sure like mad girls would be in line, you know, for me. And I'm not even saying to toot my own horn, but just like how I am, how I'm raised, how I think, how
The maturity level you come with
exactly
in a conversation.
how I present myself. It's like, wow, he's not like about it for, you know, a minute or
A week,
you know, a
a
week.
day, a night.
Exactly. You know, like he's about it. And that's how I'm thinking. And even to myself, I'm like, man, you know, I wish I had a girl right now. But the way I always say it is, I want a girlfriend. But do I need a girlfriend? Do I really need one? You know? Or, you know, that's just how I think right now.
I think my perspective on this is like, I look at my parents. I look at people around me, especially older people that are still together. I look at their relationship and be like, that's how I want my relationship. Not exactly like theirs, but like they're willing to compromise for each
Foundation.
other and compromise for the kids. And also, I feel like this is where my stubbornness comes in, because it's like when you said like, how do you not do what other people do? That's my stubbornness. Like, me and my sister made this bet already before college. A couple days, we were like, I'm not gonna drink, smoke, or anything. And once I do that to myself, I'm deliberately not gonna do it, because it's like, it's a bet within myself. So my stubbornness is going to shy me away from it. So I haven't been to a party yet. I haven't been to like a gathering or like a little circle where people are smoking weed or drinking. It's because it's like, my mindset on that is, if I didn't need it when I was younger, why need it now? And that's my mindset on certain things. Because it's like, I understand some people needed to cope with, but like when you were a kid, not necessarily, you didn't smoke it. And that's what I always ask people, why did you drink if you didn't drink when you were younger? Why did you smoke if you didn't smoke when you were younger? And they're always like, they don't give me a good answer.
When you feel sad, like, you feel sad. When you feel angry, you feel angry. When you feel like unhappy, you feel unhappy. And when you were coping with that when you were a kid, you went outside and played. You went outside and rode your bike. You know, you went and watched TV. You know what I mean? Nobody goes being sad their whole entire life. Like, you know, you have some type of happiness that you can, like, remember. And, like, now that we're older, like, it's just, like, the access level to get this and to get that and to bring this in and to bring that in. It's, like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's breaking everybody down. And it, like, even the vaping, bro. I've never hit one of them things in my life, but
it kind of gets on my nerves, like, because I'm like,
it gets me, bro. Like, it gets me so heated, especially like my friends that do it. I'm not, bro. If y'all watching this on the YouTube and you my friend like that, or if you like, you're my real friend, you're my brother, you're my sister, whatever. I'm not judging you for that. You do you. that's you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm me.
Of course.
But I'm just like I have like the smallest disappointment in them because I'm like, why are you doing that, man? You're such a good dude. You're such a good girl.
That's
like,
a good way of putting it.
You know why? I'm just like, oh.
That's interesting because I know a couple people personally that does it, and I tell my friends like I don't want a girl that smokes, but like it feels weird to judge someone based off that if I know people that smoke. So like,
ooh,
that
that's good.
It kind of irks my nerves because it's like if I know people that close to me, whether it's family or friends that smoke, and I don't really judge them based off that, how am I going to judge a girl that smokes? And it's like it's kind of hard for me. I wouldn't say I wouldn't, but it would be very low chance of me dating a girl that smokes because I don't relate to it. So it's like, why would I date someone that does drugs or smoke or, like any of that stuff if I don't do it myself or relate to it?
You know, if I'm hanging out with friends or even like hanging out with cousins and like, you know, they're like, yo, Josh, why you quiet, man? It's like, you know, I'm just chilling. It's like, yo, you know you can talk, right? I'm like, yeah, I know I can talk, but like the way that I am, I'm just like I said earlier, I'm very observant. I'm always watching around. I'm always like looking around, see if like, you know, if everything is right or if something can go bad. I'm always aware of my surroundings because I don't want to be caught in a situation where I can't escape out of, you know? Because, you know, I don't want to betray my beliefs, and I don't want to abandon my pride into doing things that I don't do.
Oh my goodness! If y'all don't get that notebook,
take notes, man. Get the pen and paper, or be like Troy, iPad time, you know?
Yo,
iPad time, you know? Yeah. Write them notes, man.
Yo, y'all are good, man. We got through everything I had listed on here. I'm not gonna lie,
bro.
This
I mean, Troy, I will say one topic I wanted to bring up, and you know, we're all, you know, all guys, right?
Yeah.
How you feel about the girls, just in general, like.
What do you mean?
What's like
specifically?
Like what is our approach to girls? Like, you know, how we feeling just by looking at a girl? Like, you know, you don't know this girl, whatever. You just look at this girl, you're talking to this girl, you're chopping it up. What are you thinking in your head? Like what's the first thing that pops up to you when you're talking to like someone new? That's a girl.
Okay, I think.
And then how do you follow up after that? Like while the conversation is going.
The first thing that I'm noticing in interaction with a female is if she looks me in the eyes. Because if she looks me in the eyes, because I'm looking at her in the eyes, so if she looks at me back, that means she's really listening.
There you go.
And if you're scared to make eye contact, I like alpha females, bro. I like a female that can go into a room and take over the entire room, no matter gender, whatever. Like, you know, I like that big energy, and like if you can look me in my eyes, then I'm good, because that means like what I'm saying actually means something to you.
Right.
You know.
For me, is how they present themselves. Like,
ooh, that's a great one.
Are you presenting yourself to look a certain way? Are you presenting yourself to look a part of the crowd? Like, if you walk around campus, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, you're going to see a lot of copy and paste, but then there might be some unique ones, like different style, different vibe to them. And for me to talk to a girl, she like, first is looks. Looks for me is like their facial features.
Yep. Attraction is big.
It's really key because like, to me, aesthetics is a very attractive to me, because like a lot of guys are into like the body or whatever. Me, it's really their facial features at first and their aesthetics, and then once I'm able to pick their brain, if they're a deep thinker, they're versatile and stuff like that, that urges me more to talk to them more, because now I can talk to them about sports, then I can talk about life, then that, and there's always going to be an endless conversation of something. Whereas if she's like, say like when music taste, if you're just one genre, to me, you can't say your music taste is good because you only listen to one type of music. You got to be able to know a little bit about everything, and then one specific thing, you know, about the whole scale of it. That's why it's like, when I said I want a girl smarter than me, it doesn't necessarily have to be book smart, but whatever she knows, like say it's fashion, she should be able to tell me almost not everything, but a little bit of everything that she knows about fashion. And that would just attract me more because it's like,
She knows what she's talking about.
yeah, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And that attracts me more because it's like, she's actually taking it serious. It's like that. And that's what attracts me. It's not like the looks obviously first, but the mindset in their brain. That's what attracts me. Behavior was the best thing you could bring up because for me, there's certain girls I step away from, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's just the way they act. If they act a little too like full of themselves, and they act a little too flamboyant, doing too much,
Shallow.
if they're acting a little too like, how do I say it? Like, oh my God, like that. That's annoying to me. But like, if they're more down to earth, more calm, more like collected, or more unique, that's when they attracted me the most. And it's like, it's kind of hard to find that in college, especially as a freshman, because you know everybody's trying to venture out. They're trying to see new things. They're trying to do new things. And it's like, to me, it's like everybody's like, don't date in college. And I feel like that's a bad way of looking at it because maybe that one person you're like, could be the one is in college, but with the influence and the mindset you have, he's like, nah, I'm not dating. And it's like, to me, right now, I'm chilling, but like, if the right girl comes along with the right mindset, the right traits, I would not mind dating her. But right now, I'm just chilling. So it's like, it's very hard.
Man.
I don't know. I just think that these girls, they're very surface level. And the thing is that they don't even know that they're surface level.
Right. We're all different people. We all think differently, but we also think the same.
We're all aligning.
We all have like a unison when it comes to like our knowledge and how we apply what we've been given to from our parents, from us growing up, and then we can like really bring it together, you know?
Yo. Oh my gosh.
And I'll bring up a point when you said the mountain thing. And the thing that gets on my nerves is when people said they're 10 out of 10. And the reason I had to learn this myself, the reason I say it's a bad thing because once you say you're a 10 out of 10, you stop yourself from evolving. You're basically saying you're perfect with no flaws. And a lot of people don't realize that because once you say a 10 out of 10, your mind just subliminally is saying that you're perfect.
Nobody's perfect, man.
You're all that. Nobody can tell you nothing. But like, if you give yourself an honest rate or you don't think of it that way, you will be able to keep evolving. Like, I always say to me, if I see a pretty girl, I always like say this. I feel like she could be even more prettier, even more gorgeous. And I feel like some people might take that the wrong way, but I'm just saying that she can evolve even to be better. That's what I meant by like that.
Continue.
What I meant by that. And I'm like, a lot of people don't realize that. When you say you're 10 out of 10, you're just saying you're perfect. I don't get that. I don't get it. So
You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for Troy. I think I watched one of your podcasts before, and you brought up how how other black people perceived you. They probably thought of you kind of whitewashed. And I always wonder how that felt because the way I am, most people would think I'm whitewashed, but I never got that prejudge. So I always wonder how that felt.
People use that term with me because I get along with at least now I get along with both sides.
Right.
So, and where we come from in being of color, like we like to, and it's sad because it's like all over the world, like we, in our culture of being African-American descent, like we don't uplift each other. Like we like to tear each other down. So all of them are looking at me like, interacting with maybe like Caucasian people or whoever it might be. And they're like, well, why is that boy always talking to them? Or why does he get along with them, but I don't? But it's like, I know how to talk to people, like, and people just deem that as like, oh, he's whitewashed. And, the reason why he can hang out with them is because he doesn't he doesn't know how to do this, he doesn't know how to do that, and like, you know, he's just wired this way or whatever. And it was with bad intention that, like, you know, lens was being looked through. So I don't know. And like I don't talk and like do the things that like, and I don't even want to say like what a stereotypical black person was. I don't want to say that,
because like
I don't want to say that.
I hate when certain people of color say you talk proper. Like that irks my nerves, because like, how do you want me to talk?
Yeah.
You can't say I talk properly. Maybe because I'm know certain words, maybe because I'm well educated on the topic or the way I speak. That doesn't mean I'm talking proper. It's just meaning I know how to say certain words to use in context. And I feel like
Thank you.
you shouldn't say that, because you're already putting a stereotype on yourself, and a stereotype on the people of color. And you gotta realize, once you put that stereotype, it's gonna be a circle around.
Jeez.
And I feel like I don't like when certain people say certain things about people in general, and then on certain races, because you're just gonna keep that stereotype. Keep going.
And it sucks, because like I didn't view, like now I've used that stereotype as like, if that's what you really believe and that's what you really think in your core, bro, like that means you are on the side of, you are really trying to fit into somebody that you're not. You know, because why the heck, if I'm talking proper, like that means I'm just educated.
Right.
Yes.
Anybody is capable of talking proper.
Right.
Anybody.
Right.
You know, it's a choice that you make, and if you're able to get like I don't even think like talking proper is an education. Like
It's not even
you
that.
It's a what word am I looking for? Like it's an awareness of like just keeping track of like how you say something. You know, like you can control tone, you can control volume in any conversation you have. And it's just like those people are really trapped. Those people are really, you know, I let it, like, it's like wearing a rain jacket in the rain, bro. You just brush it right off. Now, at least, it feels so good to be able to do that.
I feel like how it was brought upon your parents, on how your parents talk and how your parents like talk to you or talk to others. You pick that up real quick.
That's a good
So with
point.
my mom, she's always like very like intellectual, you know, she's in like the chemistry field and all that. She's always like very like book smart with it. Whereas my uncle, you know, he's more street smart. And I'm not saying like he doesn't talk proper, because he does. It's just like two
Different perspectives.
like two different pages in the same book, you know? And like, I feel like I can balance that within myself. Like, I'm more so book smart. I can talk white even though I'm of color, but I can still talk with the boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's funny you brought up about like your parents and stuff, is because like when I was younger, my parents, they bring it back up. They're like, you were able to talk with older people, like adults. And my dad was always telling me he never talked baby talk to me. He always talked real talk. And it's like, with two of my parents, they're both educated people. My mom was like top 3 in her class in high school. And then my dad was like top 11. So it's like, with those two brains combined, and then my different personality and perspective, it's going to make a kid that's going to be probably a deep thinker, probably have a little smartness to him, stuff. And then you add in my sister, she's more the goofy side of it. So it's like, when you add all that up, you got to make something within yourself, but also with those influences.
Yeah, bro. I like going back to like, I feel like we can all talk proper, and it's like the people that want to talk improper around everybody and things like are the same people that are going, when they go home for winter or spring break, are talking proper to their parents, because when they go home, or grandparents, whatever, there's a certain like respect level that you give, and they all know how to give it. But it's just we label it as cool to talk a certain way and to act a certain way and to like not care and like be so nonchalant. Like, when did that become cool?
Like, people care so much about certain things they don't need to, that is annoying. Like, cancel culture, to me, is probably the most annoying thing that, I don't know how it was made up or how it was brought up. It's annoying because it's like, they cancel something, but something they're supposed to cancel, they might brush off.
Yeah, man.
That's why I always say they don't know what to cancel. They just cancel just to cancel. Like, sometimes I see why, but if someone says something when they're like years old and they're 30 now, they probably changed. But since cancel culture is alive, they'll get someone canceled off of something they said millions of years ago. And it's like,
where's our grace?
yeah, like you can't see other people changing. And it's the funny thing is because the people behind the tweets or behind that movement would probably be the people in the same, if they were in the same situation, want grace, forgiveness, want that, but they're judging and they're feeling like they're so big that they can't look. I feel like people can't put themselves in other people's perspectives.
They're living in egoism, and they roll with what they think and what their ego believes, and it's really one dimensional thinking, bro. Like that's really what it is, and I don't know. Like as you get older, like it's weird because like the tables start to turn because people look at you and they're like, "Yo, you're so cool. You're so this. You're so that." And it's like now they see it, but like a few years back when we were all immature, 17, 18, whatever, like, you know, your exception, but people just are not there yet, like mentally, and I don't know why. It's it's simple math. It really is. It's not anything hard, but
I want to bring up back to the hookup culture. The thing I don't get about this phenomenon that's in college now is the dudes or girls that mess with people in relationships. And the reason that like boggles my mind, because I look at it as this: if you were in that situation, you wouldn't want that to happen to you. But I also look at it as, how do those people in the relationships allow that influence to get onto them? Because now they're going back to their partner like nothing happens. That's throwing me off, because it's like, if I knew my girl did that stuff and she came home and she was acting like nothing happened and she was messing with a guy at college, I would feel a certain type of way. I would lose the respect, the dignity, all that stuff she had, because you let one night or a few weeks change your whole standard, your whole worth for yourself.
It's fear, man. I feel like that's one big word. It's fear. You know, like, say a situation, you know, something happens and then, oh, you get caught in the fire, you get caught in the mishap. What? I didn't do this. I didn't do that. What you talking about? No, I seen you do this though. You was with so-and-so at so-and-so. No, it's fear. We don't want to admit that it happened. We don't want to talk to baby girl like, hey, listen, I'm sorry. You know, this happened the other night. Maybe I was drinking. Maybe I was, you know, whatever. It's fear because, you know, we're all so tense. We're all tense and we're all like, just, I guess like for easy terms, like we're all big mad. We're all mad. You know what I'm saying? Like the real people.
You're making sense.
The real people that, like what you were saying in that relationship, in that example, the real people can come together and say, listen, it was a mistake, this and that. I still love you for who you are. I know you wouldn't do that. And we can fix this. We can come back for this. Or the normal stereotype, what? You slept with so-and-so? You got with who and who? That's it. I'm done. I'm not hearing it anymore. And they know, like, oh, he's a good person and I really don't want to do this to him, but I'm so upset in the moment. And they're just like, oh, that's it. I'm done. But then a couple of days later, they come back. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap on you and all that. Like, we're all tense and we're all scared of admitting the truth sometimes. Because, you know, the truth will set you free, but the truth hurts at the same time.
Yeah, and I'll go back on the fear, because, like, there's some people that probably broke up with their significant other before they got to college. And the fear was they were fear of missing out. And a lot of people bring that up. Like, I was talking to one of my friends, and she was like, we were talking about college and stuff like that. And she was like, you don't have the fear of missing out. And I'm like, a lot of people want to participate in this hookup culture, parties and stuff, because they have the fear of missing out. It may not because they're afraid of not being part of the crowd or anything. It's just what they were talked about or what they saw on social media, what
Yup.
their other friends or older people they met say, go do this, go do that. I'm like,
Peer pressure too. That's a big thing.
Bro,
man.
that's what I'm
literally
saying.
later in life, when you're big, you could go to parties. You might be meet even Jay-Z at one of those parties instead of a random college party that could lead into a lot of stuff that can happen.
Yeah, man.
And I feel like people just, unless you really know you want to do it, don't do it.
That's facts. That's facts, man.
Don't do it, because I feel like you're going to have regret, but you already did it. So it's like, how much is that regret going to affect anything? It's already out there.
Facts. You know, friend group, man, the way how I am, you know, like I told you guys, and for the YouTube, like growing up, I didn't have like an ideal family. It's just me and my mom's, right? And, you know, growing up these past like 20 years, I will say, like, for me, I value friends so much. Like, they mean more than anything to me. Like, sometimes it gets to a point where, like, I don't even want to, like, hang out with my cousins or, like, my family. I don't mean to say that, family. I'm going to send you the link. I don't mean to say that. But
Not in a bad way, but
not in a bad way. I love y'all.
I understand what
but
you're saying.
my friends, like, I just value so much because to me, they are my brothers. They are my sisters. And me being an only child, they are my family.
Your siblings that you never had.
Exactly. The siblings that I never had. Like, bro.
That's an interesting perspective.
I like, literally, after, was it yesterday or Wednesday? These past 2 days, I don't know. It might have been after when you done the podcast with JG. Shout out Jordan Gray. Watch the YouTube. But after you did the podcast with him, I hit up all my friends in the chat, like, you know, in DMs, not like, you know, everybody blasting out, in DMs. And I said, like, to all of them, like, hey, I love you, like, for real. Like, you are my friend. You are a great person. You know, I'm proud of you. I'm, like, happy for you, you know? Thank you for being my friend. And I said that to like 10 people. And then they all hit me back like, Josh, man, like, you know, you're such a great guy. I love you. I love you like a brother. You know, like you're literally that guy. And that just hit home because that just goes to show like my real friends, like, you know, I'm there for them, man. They're my family. And, you know, coming back to like even being on campus, like Gideon, I've known Gideon almost 10 years. That's my boy right there. That's the ride or die.
Yeah,
you know?
Gideon. Shout out Gideon. That's my
GQ,
RA.
man.
That's my RA. Shout out Gideon.
GQ magazine. That's my nickname for you, boy. You know how I say. But even you guys, like Troy, like, you know, like I told you, the face of Monmouth. Like, I really like what you bring to the table can fill that whole table. It's not just like your side of the table. It's not like your corner of the table. You can fill that whole table. Miles, I see so much potential in you, man. Potential is like the one word I'll give to you because you're a freshman. And you're 18, like the way how you think now, when you're a senior,
It's just,
man, you know, it's crazy, bro.
'Cause
hold on, shout out to the girls, you know, Jacqueline, Madison, y'all, man.
we gotta get Jacqueline on here.
yo,
Man.
she's on next.
Word
For real.
word. But even then too, like, you know, just hanging out with them two through Troy, you know, I'm just like, wow, these girls are bringing something to the table too.
Yes.
And I can really mess with that. And like the four of you guys, me coming here to Monmouth as a sophomore, but I really feel like a freshman, the four of you guys, I'm like, wow, you know, y'all are good friends. And even if like we're not like ride or die, like straight up, or like, you know, maybe it'll take a while, maybe it's right now. Like the four of you guys, I really appreciate, you know, like I appreciate what all y'all do. And y'all are good people, you know?
Bro, you guys are great.
For real, man.
I can't believe you came on here and
We did it up, man.
like we
We
killed
did our
it.
thing.
And
Yeah.
you guys,
Do
like,
to do no mountain. You know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of funny because I thought I was going to be nervous. Like, I feel like
too,
the first
me
part
too.
I was kind of nervous.
Oh my God.
But once we got deeper in the conversation,
it was just
I
free
it
form.
was
It's free,
flowing.
yeah.
And this is what it's all about right here. Like, no matter how long it takes, no matter how long each episode is, like, this is so healthy.
I know, man.
And this is that action, and this is those words. Like, we're using both of them, and we're leading. Like, so much people are gonna watch this, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like the clips of you, the clips of what I said. Like, people are gonna see that, and people are gonna you're gonna help out one person. It's guaranteed. Exactly. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's how the world works. And like, I just thank you guys for just being vulnerable and like being real, man. People forget how to do that and are scared to do that. It takes a lot for somebody to just, you know, say things that you said and say things that you said and say how you think and feel. But like, why else are we here, bro? Why? Like, if you're not gonna say it, and I'm not gonna say it, who's gonna say it? Who's gonna say it? Who's gonna say it? You know, and it's you guys should be proud of yourselves that you're able to just again be leaders, like you said. You know, not followers but leaders, man. It's so important, and like this episode is fired.
You know, man, just be you, be true, and then live life to the fullest, and you know, don't listen to the haters, man.
Yeah, that's real.
Be yourself. You know, I'm being me. Joshua Cambrone, I'm 20 years old. Miles is being him, 18 years old. Troy Fenton, the face of Monmouth, he's being him. He is being himself. And that's what we all got to do, man. We all got to be ourselves. We all have to love. We all have to show kindness. We all have to just be there for people, you know? That's all I got to say. And also, shout out to my friends, man. I love y'all.
Yeah, shout
out to the family. My mom, bro.
Shout out to anybody I shouted out. Yep. Anybody, like especially those three specific people, and my parents and my sister, because I don't think I would be here without them. Yep. Shout out to them.
And subscribe, because there's gonna be a part two. There's gonna be a part two. There's gotta be a part two, man. There's so much more. So with that being said, we are out. Episode 9 is complete. I can't.
Let me get a number 9.
Bro, this is crazy. I don't even know how to. Hold on. You feel me? Like,
let me get a number 9.
Feel me? Bow.
You see the threes? Yeah. 3 times. Ooh.
You feel me? Curry from 3. You feel me? All right, I'm out. Peace.